one expected I would ever get this far. And were it not for a near suicidal depressive breakdown 5 years ago, I wouldn't be. That's right, discovering I had depression saved my life. Because up till then, I was just like every other clueless entrepreneur searching for an easy button, constantly bouncing from one guru and get-rich scheme to another, yet still completely in the dark about what I was supposed to do with my life. But that was then, and this is now, and you and I both know we are ready to get serious about living the life we love, not just existing in it. We are ready to break out, break in, if need be, break up to be the person we truly want to be, living a life we are ready to fight for. Now for me, this means doing everything I can to help you, the struggling entrepreneur, miss every roadblock I ever crashed into. Because after all this time, there's two things I know for sure. One, success don't come easy, and two, it damn sure hurts less when you start with the right knowledge and understanding. That's why each week I'm going to be talking to a who's who of today's brightest stars. But here's the twist. Anyone who comes on the show has to take the success test. Then we use their results to break down what's working for them, what hasn't worked, and how their score relates to the struggles they've seen along the way. But my dream for you is that this is not just a podcast. This is the start of a movement in a moment, galvanizing you, the listener, to figure out what is keeping you stuck, keeping you on your couch, in your chair, keeping you from making it your daily mission to move forward towards your heart-centered business dreams. All right, everybody, welcome to the Radically Unstuck podcast. My name is Brian Forsyth, and this is the show where we try to get you, the listener, off your couch, off your chair, to really start living your life, to really start living it, not existing in it, but living your life, living a life that you would truly fight for, the unstuck life. And I'm going to tell you, we have a good one today. We have Nicole Starbuck, and she is an amazing woman. She's doing fantastic work. She's a life coach, certified life coach, not just any old life coach, she's certified. So with that, I want to bring her on. I just want to thank her for being on the Radically Unstuck podcast. Nicole, take it away.
Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate the opportunity to share. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Nicole Starbuck. I'm an intuitive expert and quantum energy healer. I help people shift from anxious to aligned, and I'm able to do that by empowering them to get into alignment with their soul's calling so that they can really pursue their life's purpose and create the life of their dreams. And the reason why I do this is because I have personal experience with stress, anxiety, and depression. I was able to find healing for myself, and I've now made it my mission to help other people go through that journey of overcoming as well.
Hey, I appreciate that. So I guess the number one thing that I want to highlight is the fact that we all kind of go through stuff, and that while it seems like your entrepreneurial heroes, they just sort of woke up and they were that, right? But the truth is that we are all going through stuff, and if you're going through stuff, or if you think you're going through stuff, take it seriously. Don't just sit and live a life versus living a life. And with that, so Nicole, I'm wondering, did you always kind of want to be on this path, or like kind of where did you start?
Well, I always felt different growing up. I felt set apart, like my destiny was going to be something big and great. But I didn't know exactly what that looked like. And being young and impressionable, I fell into, I guess, what you would call the American dream of go to school, get good grades, get a good job, everything will be fine. And I followed that path and quickly learned that that was not my path. That was not my dream, that it didn't matter how much recognition I received or how much money I earned. As long as I wasn't pursuing my life's purpose, I was not in alignment with myself, and therefore I was not happy.
So talking about your life's purpose, like what would you say if you had one thing that you wanted to tell us right now today, what would that be to get us sort of in a better place?
I can only share from my personal experience, and my experience has been that pain is purpose. That the very thing that you think is a struggle or a setback or a weakness is actually your greatest asset. So for me, that was stress, anxiety, depression, eating disorders, chronic illness, all the things that I was really struggling with are now the very things that not only drive me to help other people, but give me the empathy and the authority to help other people through those situations.
So it's really weird that, you're right. For me and for you, the pain that I was going through, that I dealt with, this depression, anxiety, and panic attacks, all these things, it sort of put us on this path.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But it's important to know that your story is part of who you are, and it's part of what's going to help you relate to other people that need you, that need to hear that.
And talking about the story, talking about the book, right? Now, to be honest, when I wrote that book, I was not clear why I was writing the book. All I knew was that, I wanted to do what I could to help people primarily miss out on the, antidepressant sort of prescription train, because to me, that's, antidepressant drugs, they should be used a whole lot less. In my opinion, they're overprescribed. So I wrote this book kind of to help people figure out whether they could maybe not go down that path. And if they did go down that path, if they were more prepared for what the path might look like. And so you're kind of right. When I wrote that book, I was just like, why am I writing this book? And now I have had so many people, tell me that the book that I was not even sure why I was writing, really, and it actually helps them. And so I encourage you, the listener, that if you have a book that you feel like you want to write, get out there and do it. Take the steps. If you have a story that you want to share that you feel like, has changed you, then definitely, move towards that. And
Exactly.
I'm sure you probably have stories, Nicole, of like, people that are like, oh my gosh, this book has,
I mean, definitely. Or even just sharing pieces of my story on social media. Every time I feel like, well, what's the point? Like, why am I doing this? It's the same day, just moments later, somebody reaches out and will say, thank you so much for sharing. Like, if this really resonates with me, this is exactly what I'm going through. Like, you're such a good example. Like, I aspire to overcome the way that you've overcome. So it's so important to share your story, whether that's in book form or social media or some other outlet like a podcast that allows you to speak your truth and share your voice.
So, real quick, Nicole, go ahead and tell us where we can find you if we want to find out more about, the wonder that is Nicole Starbuck.
Well, thank you, Brian. So you can check out my blog at NicoleStarbuck.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Nicole.Starbuck, or any of the other social media channels, Nicole.Starbuck. And you can also check out my book, available on Amazon, which is Stress Size: How My Hunger for Control Almost Killed Me.
Oh, I love that title. That is
Thank
awesome. That is awesome. Got to have a good title if you're going to write a book. So with that, I just want to thank Nicole for being on. I want to thank you, the listener. And like I always say, be kind to yourself. Like, that is the advice that I can give you above all else. Is your thought kind to you? Is it something that you would say to your best friend? If it's not, then you can definitely let it go. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. And with that, I will talk to y'all next week. Peace.